you by Chevrolet. Like baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, Chevy is an American favorite. Test drive America's largest family of small cars. Nobody has a lineup like Chevrolet. By the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by the Gulf Oil Corporation, who suggests that you combine your trips and use carpools whenever possible. It'll help save gasoline. Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati again. Good afternoon, everyone. National League Baseball coming your way. The third and final game of the series between the Houston Astros and the Cincinnati Reds. And today will be the wrap-up game before the All-Star break. After today, the Astros take 3 days off, get back into action in St. Louis on Thursday night, and then on to Chicago and Pittsburgh before getting back home on the 29th of July, a weekend against the Eastern Division leading Chicago Cubs. We hope that you're looking forward to that. But today in Cincinnati, the final game, the series stands all even at a game apiece. And I think most importantly, going into this afternoon's ball game, it'll be the 12th game in a row for the Astros against the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And going into this 12th game consecutively, the Astros have won 6 and the opposition has won 5. I think it's been a very good run. It's hot today in Cincinnati. We're about 92 degrees at the present time, and the humidity is pushing the 90% mark right now. I'm Gene Elston along with Dwayne Stats. We're most happy to have you with us, and we hope that you enjoy our telecast today and hope the Astros can get into this one and make it 2 out of 3 against the Cincinnati Reds. Mark Lemongello will be getting the start for the Astros today. The young right-hander has won 1 and lost 11. Doug Capilla, another youngster, will be on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. He has won 2 and lost none. We'll be going down to Dwayne in our interview right after this. Time here now at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati for this final game of the series. We have a lot of other baseball action going today. We might mention here that the Reds, by losing to Houston last night, dropped a full game to the Dodgers as Los Angeles won a 1-0 game over the San Diego Padres last night. Bob Ochinko went into the 8th inning with a no-hitter, but he lost it by a score of 1-0. Cincinnati 8 1/2 games now behind the division-leading Los Angeles Dodgers with just this day to go before the All-Star break. The Giants are 16 games out there in third place. The Astros trail by 16.5. And over in the East, the Cubs lead the Phillies by 3. And he may be in center field. Enos Cabell at third base. Jose Cruz at right. Bob Watson at first base. Joe Ferguson will catch. Willie Howard in left field. Kian Gonzalez at second base. Roger Metzger at shortstop, and Mark Lemongello, the pitcher. The Cincinnati Reds will lead off with Pete Rose at third base. John Summers in right field. Dan Dreesen at first base. George Foster in center. Johnny Bench will catch. Mike Lum in left field. Ray Knight at second base. Dave Concepcion will be at shortstop. And Doug Capilla will do the pitching for the Reds in this series wrap-up. Umpires for this afternoon's ball game. Working the plate today will be Paul Runge. At first base will be Dan Dreesen. Ray Knight at second base. Dave Concepcion at short, and Pete Rose at third base. In left field, Mike Lum. George Foster in center, and John Summers in right field. Johnny Bench will catch, and Doug Capilla will be the starting pitcher. This is the second time that Capilla has worked against the Astros. In Capilla today, you will be seeing basically a curveball pitcher. He's won 2 and lost none. Announcers in this program, Terry Poole will lead it off. Poole is batting .211. He has 1 run batted in. And playing again today in center field, Cesar Cedeno taking this one off again due to that sore left wrist. X-rays the night before last proving negative. Ball one. This is the second start for Capilla against the Astros. First time out, he defeated the Astros, although it was not a complete game. Foul back against the screen, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Poole. We mentioned last night and reiterate today that we sort of are rubbing our eyes about Mr. Poole. The young Canadian has just been playing straight ball. His average is .211, but he's been hitting the ball hard. Ball 2. Bob Lillis coaching at third. On the left of your screen, Tony Pacheco working at first. First inning at Cincinnati. Ball 2, strike 1 on Terry Poole. He missed again. 3-1. Pretty good batting eye. Hit .309 at Charleston in AAA. Another foul. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Enos Cabell will be batting next. Just looking at Jose Cruz, and he's due to bat third in this inning. Ball 3, strike 2. There, struck him out. That's the first time that Poole has struck out in the big leagues. And he had gone 19 times without striking out, and that is his first one. 1 away. Here's Enos Cabell. Enos has a real mini hitting string going. He's hit in 5 consecutive games, but he's had just a hit per game over that period. Strike 1, hitting .275 for the year, 7 homers and 36 runs batted in. Cabell has had 5 hits in his last 20 at-bats on this string. That's only a .250 average. 1 ball and 1 strike. Capilla, 25 years old, born in Honolulu. Lives in California. Liner tonight at second. 2 away. Ray Knight, who is playing this afternoon in place of Joe Morgan at second base. Gets Cabell's line drive for the second out, and the batter's Jose Cruz. Cruz lost a point on his batting average yesterday. He's still batting .294, and he kept his hitting string alive with a 9th inning home run last night. 11 consecutive games. Strike call. 11 homers and 51 runs batted in for Cruz. 2 outs, nobody on, first inning. 1-1. Cruz came in the last night's game in that hitting string, hitting .529, and he's still hitting .487 with 19 for 39 in 11 games. I think he might have another one right there. Nope. Didn't stay up. Mike Lum's got it to retire the side. So Capilla gets through the inning in order. Top half for the first, Astros nothing. Reds are coming to bat. This afternoon, as we take a look at Bob Watson at first base, Kian Gonzalez at second, Roger Metzger at shortstop, and Enos Cabell third base. The outfield in left has Willie Howard. Terry Poole center field, and Jose Cruz in right. Joe Ferguson will catch, and Mark Lemongello will be on the mound. Mark has won only 1 this year. He's lost 11. He had a good outing his last time out, though. That was against the Los Angeles Dodgers last Wednesday. Lemongello brings a 4.16 earned run average in against the Reds here this afternoon. He pitched 10 innings last Wednesday. Started that game, pitched 10 innings, gave up 2 runs and 6 hits, and did not figure in the decision in that game. The switch hitter is hitting .316. 4 homers and 37 runs batted in. Rose had a 12-game hitting string snap last night. Strike call. No score, bottom of the first. One and one. Cruz in right and Howard in left are into the alleys. They are giving Rose a lot of land in both left and right down the lines. Liner to Cruz. 1 out. Now Cruz, as I mentioned, was over a little bit in right center field on that one. That ball didn't get too far off the ground. He played him just right. 1 away. So Rose has been retired as the opening hitter for the Cincinnati Reds. And the right fielder for Cincinnati, John Summers, is the hitter. Hasn't played a lot. He's batting .194. He has 7 hits and 36 at-bats. 3 home runs and 4 runs batted in. And Lemongello starts him off with a strike. Pretty strong hitter, but has never played regularly in the big leagues. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lemongello, 21 years old. Born in New Jersey. Still makes his home there. That didn't miss by much. Mark is 6'2", 180 pounds. Came up in September of last year, won 3 and lost 1. And trying to get back in the groove this year. He's pitched some pretty good baseball for the Astros this year. There's a base hit to left. That'll be all the way back in the corner. Howard will run it down, and Summers is on his way to second. Howard makes the pickup off the fence, and Howard holds the runner to second, a double. That's the 3rd double this year for Summers, and he went right down the line. And left-handed batter, and Howard was pretty well over in left center field, so he had a long way to go to pick it up. Cincinnati threatens in the bottom of the first on a 2-bagger by Summers with 1 out. Dan Dreesen's the hitter. Batting .299. 55 runs batted in, 12 homers. Base hit. Here comes Summers. They're waving him on. The throw by Cruz. Didn't get him. 1-0 Cincinnati. Good solid single into right field. Summers took off right away on it. Throw, you'll see a little bit late by Cruz. And a good slide by Summers. He's underneath any possible tag by Ferguson. Joe's only chance on that was to take a quick swipe at him when he went away from him. Good slide by Summers away from the plate, but right on top of it. Mel Wright, the pitching coach, he's out quickly now to talk to Lemongello. Try to settle the youngster down. 2 hits and a run in. First time that Lemongello pitched against Cincinnati this year. The only other time he pitched, he lost a 4-0 shutout to Freddie Norman. He was knocked out early in that game by Cincinnati, being KO'd in the 3rd, giving up 4 runs and 5 hits. Now the Reds have jumped on him here for a couple hits in the first. They lead 1-0. George Foster's the hitter with 1 out and Dreesen on first. Foster hitting .317. Right near the dugout, Watson. Into the first row, strike 1. Dan Dreesen on first with a run batted in into right field, his 56th of the year, and 1 out. Foster had 1 for 4 last night. He's been a pretty hot hitter lately. 29 homers and 90 runs batted in. There goes Dreesen. Foul ball. Hit and run on, and he fouls it right back into the screen. So Dreesen gets back to first. All three hitters, Rose, Summers, and Dreesen, have hit the ball hard here off Lemongello in the first inning. Even the liner that Rose sent to Cruz in right. Dreesen has stolen 20 bases. There's a pop off the left side. Cabell, well, he's almost the identical shot off the left side. And the count holds at 2 strikes on Foster. I think all the box and reserve seats are sold out here today. The only empty seats are the general admission seats. 2 strikes on Foster. Foul ball. He came in on him that time, and another little blooper up into the seats. Cincinnati averaging 33,000 per opening this year. They'll probably draw about 2,540,000 or so. That's the projection under their present average. No score, or they're 1 score in, and a runner first. We're in the bottom of the first inning. There goes Dreesen again. Ground ball to third. Cabell will have just the play at first. High throw, but Bull gets him. 2 away. Dreesen moves up to second base on Foster's ground ball to Cabell. Johnny Bench, the hitter. Bench is batting .267. 68 runs batted in. 20 home runs. Wow, look at that mitt. He took the mitt right off of Ferguson's hand. That'll be an error on Fergie, and that's the second error that Fergie's been charged with on tipping the batter's bat. And that's the same thing that happened last night when Rose was at bat. Let's look at it again now. Takes his mitt right off. Now this is the second day in a row that Ferguson has been hit on that left wrist. The bat has come right on the backside of his hand. There he's getting the ethyl chloride again. That's exactly the same spot he was hit last night when Rose caught him there with the bat. So Bench reaches on what has to be charged as an error to Ferguson, his 7th of the year. Dan Dreesen on second and Johnny Bench on first with 2 outs. Here's Mike Lum. 1-0 Reds lead it here in the first. Lum is batting .173, 9 hits and 52 at-bats. He has 1 homer, 7 runs batted in. Ball outside. Cesar Cedeno out with his bad wrist. Cesar Geronimo for the Reds out with a hamstring, and Ken Griffey out with a bad left knee. 2 balls, no strikes. Lum and Capilla, both from Hawaii. 2 balls, no strikes. All 3. Well, Lemongello now with 2 on and 2 out. He's behind on Lum 3-0 with Ray Knight due to hit next. Ground ball to second. Gonzalez to Watson to retire the side. And at the end,
his 12th home run of the year. Gives him 54 RBIs, and we're tied at 1 apiece. Second Astro hit, the 4th home run allowed by Capilla this year. And we're tied 1-1. Watson being congratulated by the Astro bench. Here's Fergie. He has the other hit, a double in the second inning. That's foul. Strike one. Joe Ferguson. He's batting .263. He's had a good first half. He meant a lot to the Astros here through the first half of the '77 season. He's done a good job. Ground ball, Concepcion, who was playing a very deep short, to Dreesen. Ferguson's out 6-3, but the Astros get a run in the fourth inning on the homer by Watson and tie it at 1-1. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the fourth tied. Reds 1, Astros 1. And his trajectory on the ball as he got it out of there. There's the scoreboard. Hits are even at 2 apiece. The runs are even at 1 each. Play by Metzger. That ball was hit sharply on one hop. You see Roger there ranging to his left, planting himself and going back to first to get Rose. Good play by Watson on the other end at first. 1 out. Astros lead 2-1. Cabell hits his 8th home run of the year. He has 37 RBIs now. And the Astros lead it 2-1. Well, Lean is wearing that big smile. He extends his hitting string to 6 games and gives the Astros a 2-1 lead. Here it is again. The only question is whether or not the pitch was going to be fair or foul, and he sent it out of here. This is Cruz. That's the first home run Enos has hit this year against Reds pitching. It's 1-1 now to Jose. Astros have out-homered the Reds here in Cincinnati now 7-5. And 10-8 on the year. That's a strike call to Cruz. 1-2. Cruz is flying to left and flying to center field. Two. Cruz hitting .292. 19 out of his last 41. Said he had a streak in winter ball where he was 21 out of 40. That's about the best he's ever gone. And this is the best he's gone in the big leagues. He had 19 out of 39 coming into play this afternoon. Strikes out. That retires the side. Jose went for top of the 6th is over, but the Astros go out in front with a run, a homer by Enos Cabell. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Astros 2 and the Reds 1.
See. Harry.
Just about overrunning this one. Let's take a look at him after he makes this catch. I tell you, he had to give it everything he had. Oh, I think that sort of wraps everything up today. Play like that. Facing Mike Lum. Lum is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 0-1. Two balls, no strikes. Strike at the knees, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. This crowd today of 37,499. There's a pop off the left side. They might have a chance on this one. They're guiding Ferguson and Cabell, and Ferguson gets it to retire the side. Another pop foul. A knuckler by Niekro appears to be working very nicely in the late stages of the game. We go on to the top of the ninth. Astros 3, Cincinnati 1. And the Astros are leading it 3-1. 3 days off for most all the ball players except for the All-Star game on Tuesday night at Yankee Stadium. The Astros Thursday night at St. Louis. The Reds will be moving into Pittsburgh for the opening of a weekend series against the Bucks. And we'll be with you on Thursday night with that first game of the St. Louis series at 7:30. Bob Watson leads it off against Jack Billingham. Strike one. Billingham struck Watson out in the 7th. The Bull had his 12th home run of the year back in the 4th and popped out. So he is a 1-for-3 hitter today. Billingham misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ferguson next, and Willie Howard. Two balls, 1 strike. Bill Verdon, with the 3-day holiday coming up, has his bullpen busy just in case. You can use just about anybody you want today that's healthy. Everybody's going to get the rest. Watson, 2 balls, 1 strike. Fastball. Foster in center. 1 out. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the scheduled hitters for Cincinnati are Ray Knight, Dave Concepcion, and then Jack Billingham. So we'll see a little shuffling around down there, I would imagine, by Sparky Anderson. Ferguson is the batter with 1 out. Ball low. Billingham is working his 3rd inning. He's 2 1/3 innings in relief of Doug Capilla. Fastball inside. Verdon, of course, hoping that Kenny Force and Floyd Bannister will have their ailments over by the end of the All-Star break to get them back into the starting rotation again. Ground ball to 3rd. Pete Rose. I think Fergie broke his bat on that one. 2 outs on the throw to Dreesen by Pete Rose. Rose is hanging around for this one in as much as the Reds are behind. Usually with a little bit of a lead in the late innings, Anderson will make a change at 3rd. Willie Howard with 2 outs. Willie's been shut out today. 0 for 3. Switch hitter had a good shot back in the 5th inning. It was caught by Champ Summers in right field. Foul ball, strike 1. Well, we sincerely hope that you've enjoyed our weekend here and that you enjoyed the homestand in this last 12 games that the Astros have played with the Dodgers and the Reds. It's been quite a 12 days for this ball club. 12 days in a row with the Reds and the Dodgers, and right now the Astros have won 6 out of the first 11 and are leading here in the 12th. That could be a base hit. Nah, maybe not with Concepcion. Base hit. Oh, it looked like he had it. Out at first base to retire the side. Dave Cano to Dan Dreesen. Last 6 batters retired by Billingham. We go into the bottom half of the 9th inning. And the score here is the Astros 3 and the Reds 1. Last of the 9th inning at Cincinnati. And Ray Knight will not bat. Cesar Geronimo, who has not seen action in this series because of a pulled hamstring muscle, will be the pinch batter for Knight. Astros lead it by a score of 3-1. So Niekro will be facing Geronimo and then Concepcion. The Astros bullpen of Bo McLaughlin and Gene Pence continue to keep loose down the left side, and Sparky Anderson and his pitching coach Larry Shepard are now starting their bullpen in action in case the Cincinnati Reds tie this one. There's Pence on the left and Bo McLaughlin. Bill Verdon checking his lineup card over now just in case, and he's watching the Cincinnati lineup card out and making the change of Geronimo coming on as the pinch hitter. Knight was up 3 times without a hit before he was taken out, and here's Geronimo. Batting .271, 33 runs batted in, and 6 homers. Foul ball, strike 1. Geronimo has been at bat only twice officially as a pinch hitter and has 1 base hit. 1 strike on Geronimo to lead off the bottom of the 9th. A little bit outside, it's 1-1. Pedro Barbone is loosening for the Reds. Base hit. Now let's see if Geronimo will not stay, and we'll have a pinch runner. Rick Arbach is coming out to run for Geronimo. He has that pulled hamstring muscle, so Chief singles and is out. That's the 2nd hit off Niekro, and the 8th Cincinnati hit in the ball game. That means the Reds now, with nobody out and a runner first base, have the tying run at the plate. And Dave Concepcion will hit, and then batting for the pitcher, Jack Billingham, will be Joe Morgan. Concepcion has flied out, was intentionally walked and doubled. Rick Arbach running at first in the 9th, and a 3-1 Houston lead. Ball 1. Pop up. Gonzalez, Cruz behind him. They got a force at second, though. Arbach is forced at second. You could almost sense that Cruz's roommate Gonzalez was in trouble. You could almost sense it by the way Cruz comes in behind him on this. He wanted to be there for the pickup if he dropped it. He called him off of it the last moment, I see. Now I changed my mind on that. Cruz called him off of it when Gonzalez was all set to make the play, so the force goes from the right fielder to Roger Metzger. The force is on Arbach, so Concepcion is safe at first. 1 out. Here's Joe Morgan batting for Jack Billingham. Ball 1. Morgan batting .311, 47 runs batted and 12 homers. Morgan's 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Ball 2. Looks like Niekro has given Morgan a couple of fastballs here. One out runner first, 9th inning. Ball 3. Niekro, I think, has given Morgan 3 fastballs, and his knuckleball seems to be working pretty well. Pete Rose will be next. Another fastball. Strike call. Astros lead at 3-1. Reds kicking up a little dust here in the bottom of the 9th. Ball 4. Runners on first and second. Concepcion second, Morgan first, only 1 out. Niekro will now face Pete Rose. Rose singled off Niekro on a knuckleball in the 7th inning, 1 for 4. Foul ball, strike 1. That's C, deep up in the seats off the left side. Gonzalez got the ball down for Concepcion. 1 ball, 1 strike on Pete Rose. Ball 2. There's Lemongello down in the dugout, dressed and watching the action. This is his ball game if Niekro can hold it for him. Now Niekro will take a breather. This inning started off on a pinch single by Geronimo. He was forced on Concepcion's dropped pop, and Joe Morgan drew a walk. Now it's 2-1 on Pete Rose with the tying runs on. Foul back, 2-2. Rose had his 2,874th hit in the 7th inning. Runners first and second. Ball 3. Niekro's worked 2 1/3 innings. Watch the runners. 1 out, 3-2. They're holding. Fly ball to left. Willie Howard. Runners are not tagging. 2 outs. Well, that got rid of a big one, but there is still 1 out to go. Niekro and Ferguson talk it over. Champ Summers is the hitter. Well, they're 2 away now with 2 Reds on in the bottom of the 9th inning and a 3-1 lead. Mark Lemongello went 6 innings before he was lifted for the pinch hitter. And now Niekro must look at Summers, who doubled in the 1st inning. He is 1 for 4. Oh, no. It's all over. Jose Cruz makes the catch. And the Astros have won the game by a score of 3-1. There's Mark Lemongello. He just broke a personal 7-game losing string with the help of Joe Niekro. And the Astros have taken 2 out of 3 in this series against the Cincinnati Reds. There's a happy group of people, and especially the gentleman in the blue cap. Everybody's congratulating Mark Lemongello, who's now 2-11 for the year. We'll have the totals for you right after this. Give you the totals right here now. The Astros win it by the score of 3-1. Houston 3 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors with 3 men left on base, and Cincinnati 1 run on 8 hits and no errors with 10 left. Mark Lemongello is 1-2 and lost 11. He wins his first game after losing 7 in a row. The losing pitcher will be the starter in this one, Doug Capilla, and his record now is 2 wins and 1 loss. 37,499. Watch the ball game here today at Cincinnati. And the time of the ball game will be about 2 hours and 16 minutes. So the Astros have won it by the score of 3-1. So the series is over here, and the 12 games between the Dodgers and the Reds are over. And the Astros won 7 and lost 5 in this string against the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's been a pretty fair run. Home runs today by Bob Watson, who hit his 12th. That tied the game in the 4th after Cincinnati scored a run in the 1st. And that run, the only run they got all day, a double by Champ Summers and a single by Dan Dreesen. And then the 8th home run of the year by Enos Cabell in the 6th inning that proved the go-ahead and winning margin in this ball game. And then the added insurance run by the Astros in the 7th with 1 out, a single by Ferguson, and a single by Kian Gonzalez. That's the way it went here, 3-1 Astros. So they'll be off now for 3 days. Back in action again in St. Louis on Thursday night, then on to Chicago and Pittsburgh before getting back home again on July the 29th for the weekend series against the Chicago Cubs. Phillies beat the Cubs today 4-2. That was a single ball game with Steve Carlton becoming a 13-game winner in that one. He's lost 4, and Ray Burris was the loser. And Pittsburgh beat the New York Giants in the first game, rather the New York Mets 3-1. That's the way it went today. Well, it's all over. It's been a great series. The Astros win 2 out of 3. They've now won 9 games over the Reds against 5 losses. And they've clinched at least a tie for the season series. Final score again today, the Astros 3 and the Cincinnati Reds 1. My name is Gene Elston. I'm here along with Dwayne Stats. Nice to have you with us today. Keep in mind now that we'll be back with you again next Thursday night on Channel 39 KHTV. It'll be Houston only, and that will be Thursday night starting at 7:30. We'll see you all then. Bye for now.
Today's game was brought to you by Chevrolet. Like baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, Chevy is an American favorite. Test drive America's largest family of small cars. Nobody has a lineup like Chevrolet. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller Lite. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Fly to right. Head Armbrister under it for the 3rd out. Or so he thought. Now the Reds are all headed for the dugout. He runs in yelling, "Hey, come back." Who's he going to throw the ball to? Some do come back, but the runner slides into 3rd while the Reds hold a convention. Well, even the big red machine can break down sometimes. From Kansas City, watch this. A fly ball to right center. Amos Otis and Al Cowens go after it, but they don't get it. And the runner races around to 3rd and says, "Thanks, fellas, for the triple." Stay awake for this one out in Chicago, where the White Sox are playing the Tigers and Ron LaFleur is on first. First baseman Jim Spencer decides he'll try the oldest play in the book. And watch, it worked. How about that? He's out. LaFleur will remember that one for a long time to come. Spencer made another play the Tigers won't forget. Watch it now.